primarily on the manufacturing segment. So, how many manufacturers are present here right now? Thank you so much. Uh, since morning, we've been talking about a lot of aspects of business, whether it is finance or whether it's banking, whether it is logistics. One such aspect of business is supply chain management. And many of us in SME kind of do this on a day-on-day basis, but we really do not focus formally on this particular segment. So I'll be taking you through how we can add value in our business through supply chain management. What is supply chain? It is nothing but the heart and soul of business. Great companies use this as a differentiator in their business to gain an edge over competition. It sounds like a very nerdy or a very technical term, but it's nothing but common sense used in the right manner in each of the operations which are there in the chain. It's not just a supply chain, it's a value chain which ranges from procuring raw material to processing it to handing it over to your logistics guy and to ensuring a proper dispatch, timely dispatch. So since each of these links go into making the change, every link is very, very important. Now let's have a look at what are the key aspects of supply chain management. Purchasing, which includes supplier alliances and management and strategic sourcing. We all do this on a day-on-day basis. So the next is operations. Operations involve what kind of a demand are we looking at, what is the supply probability, how can we have a just-in-time inventory, how can we have total quality management. Then comes logistics, which is nothing but the movement from raw material, sourcing the raw material to dispatch, the entire chain of movement of the material. And then integration. Now integration involves combining all these elements in a manner where each element functions so effectively that the overall supply chain is running seamlessly and smoothly. Now how do we do this? How do we achieve value out of the supply chain management? Like as I said, that we have been doing this in individual areas. Somebody is doing it in purchase, somebody is doing it in logistics, somebody is doing it in on the production side. But we need to look at this as a whole, more as a holistic approach. Now how do we begin with? Our entire supply chain begins with purchasing. So what we probably need to do is avoid over-dependence on a single supplier. How many of us face a situation where we are in dire need of a particular material and then we find that there's only one source and then price becomes a premium? How many of us face this? Right. So if there has to be a process where we can have at least, if not many, at least 2 or 3 alternative suppliers so that at any point in time the production process is not getting hampered. Now how are we going to do this? We need to evaluate our suppliers on a periodic basis based on the delivery schedules that they meet, based on the price that they offer to us, and based on the quality, and also most importantly their responsiveness. The next important thing is that we need to have a very realistic estimation of the material requirement, and also we need to take cognizance of the lead times of the material. Lead time is the time required from the placement of the order to the material coming to your shop. Now if these are not estimated correctly or these are not close to the realistic measurements, you will find sometimes material which is not really now required sitting in your shop, you have paid for it, you have locked in your inventory, and material which is desperately required for production is still on the way or probably is getting manufactured at the vendor's shop. So the benefits of doing this: timely availability of relevant material. As I said, what is required is available at the right time and at the optimum cost. You save in procuring cost because you're doing a very effective planning, and you save in the cost of holding excess inventory. Since morning we have been talking about finance. Finance can be made available, but I think as entrepreneurs it's our responsibility or our lookout to ensure that we invest in the right kind of things and make sure that money really works for us. The next thing which I mentioned was operations. Now, in operations, we typically, when we look at a supply chain guy, we say, हाँ वो purchase का बंदा है, वो तो देख लेगा, material लाना है वो ला के दे देगा. But giving him the right kind of planning is the operations job. So we need to identify what raw material is critical to us. Where is it going to hurt us the most if we do not have that particular raw material? We also need to not just identify the raw material, but also map the different raw materials that we have to the sequence of manufacturing. Like, all materials are not required when you begin production. Each is required at different stages. So we need to identify and map those processes with our raw materials that we need, so that we can ensure that proper lead times are considered and we have the material when it is actually needed. Not much in advance and not too late. So to do this, we need to understand what are our minimum order quantities and what are our reorder levels. There are certain criteria or formulas which define these reorder levels, but they can vary from company to company depending on the cycle of production, depending on the number of processes and so on. So we need to look at these things to ensure that we order at the right time and we procure at the right time. Then there is something known as a standard consumption. We all know, based on our number of years of experience, that for producing a certain particular product, I need X quantity of raw material. Now, on a regular basis, if we review that, say for example, I want to make a mouse. I need the plastic components of that. I need the inside battery. Now, how many components I am using to make a particular product? If they start varying, like for example, I am using one plastic component to make, I should be using one plastic component to make one mouse, but I am using two instead. So that should tell me that my wastage is too high. I need to control it. But this will not come to the fore. We probably do this on a very non-routine basis, but if this happens as a routine or as a regular check from our side, it is definitely going to add to your bottom line nothing less than 15 to 20%. Trust me. So what is again the advantage? No shortage of critical material. Optimization of space. Many of us must be into engineering industries where you have work in progress, you have finished products, and we being SMEs, we have very little space to store them. So if we do this kind of a planning on the supply chain management, it's going to make us space available not only for the raw material, but also to store a fair bit of finished products. And last but not the least, the facilitation for ease of movement for distribution. काफ़ी बार ऐसे होता है, ट्रक लग के खड़ा है, ट्रेलर लगा हुआ है, 4 घंटे से हम वेट कर रहे हैं कि अभी जाएगा मटेरियल ऊपर. So the ease of movement that we all want to, it's like we have to facilitate that ourselves. It's not going to happen within the system just like that. The most important segment of supply chain management, that's the logistics part. Just some time ago, one of the speakers spoke about digitalizing logistics. Whether we digitalize or we have our current system of deciding on the logistics partners, there are 3 things which are very important. Over dependence on one single logistic partner can really take take the heart out of you sometimes, because on one hand you are waiting for the logistics guy to send his vehicle, and on the other hand your customer is following with you tooth and nail to get the finished product going. So over dependence on transporters is a strict no-no. Evaluating transporters based on timely and damage-free delivery. How many of us have faced damage of finished product during deliveries to customers? I'm sure most of us have at some point in time, and probably we'll end up paying. Definitely we'll end up paying for them, because it is our job to ensure quality delivery at the client site. So this is a very important point to note. One of the ways of doing or strengthening our power on logistics would be to strengthen our contracts with our logistics suppliers. Introducing clauses which protect our interest in terms of casualties, in terms of damage to the product, and in terms of timely deliveries. Like, we have customers who could levy late delivery charges to us if we delay the supply, We could also have such clauses introduced in our logistic contracts. This will help us not only reducing the overall logistic costs, but also achieving timely deliveries and mitigating late delivery charges. The last segment of the supply chain is the integration bit, which is the most important segment. Here we are going to talk about how we can create an effective chain. What I mean by chain is that today we are dependent only on the purchase guy to give us material of the right quality at the right price and on time. But if we integrate our production, stores and the purchase person, it will help us to bring in so much of harmony and symphony in the working that no production guy will come back to the director and say, sir, मेरे पास तो material नहीं है, आज तो production नहीं होगा. Or no purchase guy will come and say, I have got the material for you, 15 days have gone, the material has not moved even one bit. So we can avoid all these things if there is a proper integration of these three important departments in the company. Also, we need to have some cohesive meetings, some review meetings which will highlight problems faced by each of these people, either in estimation or in procurement or in deliveries, either ways. But there needs to be a review. We also need to use some common quick reports, which people feel that supply chain management is a very high-tech thing. You know, only big companies do it and we don't really need to bother because our materials are minimum, our products are just a few, so we really need not work on this. But using some very small, quick, daily or periodic reports, you can take control of the entire supply chain management. It will help you to seamlessly operate from procurement to dispatch of products. It will also help reduce operational cycles. I mean, operational cycle time, if it is reduced, you are generating revenue a little before than you would normally do. That is going to help improve your cash flows. Improvement in cash flows definitely goes into reducing your cost of capital and reducing also your debt burden. Now, how are we going to optimize this? As I said, we all work in silos. I mean, the purchase department is doing their thing, the production department is focusing on production, stores guy is busy inward and outward of material. So we need to replace this psychology or approach of working in silos to working in an integrated fashion. We have to integrate these four departments to ensure complete seamless working. Then organizational objective, what your organization intends to achieve. Of course it is business growth, of course it is profit. But there's always a vision and a mission which each organization has. Now that should be supreme in each and every department head's mind, that the organization objective has to supersede the departmental objective. You have given targets to each of your departments, but everybody's final target should be the organizational goal and not their individual targets. ISO. How many of us have ISO certifications here? And how many of us use ISO reports in the real sense? That's a very encouraging number. But most of the times what we find is that ISO reports are, yes, ISO certification is taken, the audit takes place on a routine basis, but ISO reports are not read in the manner they ought to be read, or value that ought to be taken from those reports is generally not taken. So please take them seriously. They are very, very important documents, and missing them out is missing an opportunity in business, and the cost of it you all know. A very important aspect of supply chain is that we see if we manage supply chain well, there is good amount of saving in costs, good amount of earnings that we make. But do remember to share these with all in the value chain, your vendors, your logistics partners, your employees, and of course yourself. The second point also, the last point also says that recognize and appreciate everybody in the value chain. So what do we conclude from this? Simple techniques can give great results. It doesn't really need a hi-fi qualified team or tech systems. So next time you think that supply chain is, let's look at it later. We are not that great a size that we look into supply chain. Think again. Planning comes first. In management, they typically train the trainees saying that if you plan well, you don't need to worry about your execution. So according to me, if you spend more time in doing your planning right, your execution will be a cakewalk. And SCM, as I said, is not just a purchase or logistic guy's responsibility. It is the team effort that goes into giving you a seamless operation. So do focus on SCM. You can count on us to develop, evolve, optimize your operations for an improved company performance. And we are also open to any questions that you may have. You can take the questions offline. Thank you so much.